Hello. So once again, I added a whole lot of stuff to Bonk Universe, and the game should even be up on the Steam page by now, so make sure to wishlist the game. So this is version 0.5, and there are so many things that were added. I don't even know if I can show all of it, but I will try. So the first thing that I want to showcase is the Celestials are alive. You might see some of them behave kind of strangely if we look in the skybox. Some of them move around kind of weird, and it's kind of hard to tell right now, but it'll be obvious very soon. This also means that there is a questline for the game now, kind of, or at least a story. If you venture down to the core of the world and go to the Celestial Palace, this is the Celestial Palace. It's not quite done yet, but it's on a randomly generated, pretty giant floating island in the Backworlds level 6. At the palace, you can find the boss fight, the Celestial Guardian, and as the name suggests, he guards the Celestial. He can spawn royal skeletons, he has a whole bunch of different attacks, and if I was not in creative mode, I would probably die right about now. And so some of the weapons like the Flame Ring are finally useful again to deal with some of these skeletons. But as of right now, the boss is a little bit too powerful to be killed in the traditional sense. So if you're able to bypass him, you can enter the Celestial Hallway, and the portal for that is right here. That'll bring you to the third dimension, where you are rotated and in this hallway. And from here, you can go back and forth between all of the Backworlds levels. So if I drink that, you can kind of see, now I'm in some random Backworlds level, and each one is procedurally generated and unique. If we go to the very core, you can see that there is the core altar with the planet we are currently on. And if you use this, then you become the planet. Now it's kind of hard to see stuff in my inventory right now, but I have a whole bunch of different items. So when you do that, you become the planet. So this planet is now alive, and I can move around and stuff. And each of these weapons are unique, like the slingshot can force Celestials into an orbit, you can push them away or pull them. And so I can start a fight with some of the Celestials. So these guys are now being forced into my orbit, but I kind of just flung them away. And so it's very fun to fight other Celestials, especially the big ones, like this brown dwarf over here. I can try attacking, but my weapon is not very large in comparison. And so now I've just started a fight with all of the Celestials, and I am nowhere as strong as any of them, so I'm just kind of being tossed around. You can see most of them just got chucked pretty far away. And in some of the larger solar systems, it's quite chaotic. I'm going to try that again against this guy. Hello. Oh goodness. Yeah, so once again, I've been forced into an orbit, and I think I'm escaping. But doing this is way more fun when you're one of the big guys, so I'm gonna go capture a large Celestial this time. And in the loading screen, you start from the galaxy now, because I added the universe and the multiverse, which I'll showcase next. Oh, also, side note real quick, my sister drew the background art for the parallax, so it feels a lot better now that it has that. More are coming soon. Okay, so which planet here is the biggest? Yeah, you can see some of the other Celestials on the right are fighting over there. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm just immortal, so I guess I'll never understand what they're thinking. But yeah, each Celestial has a personality and a hidden personality, so they all behave uniquely when you're in a fight with them, or just by default. So once again, we've made it to the core, and this one is an ice giant that we're at. And so now I have a much higher speed and a much stronger weapon. So look at what I can do now. You can see all of the planets flying around everywhere. Now currently these don't do damage, but I'm going to add some different types of weapons that actually do damage and are much more powerful. Oh, it seems that there's a star here that's fighting as well, so that might be a bit powerful. I'll showcase some of the other weapons real quick. So the pusher and puller are the same, but in opposite directions. So that one pushes away, and this one pulls towards me. So you can see I can pull them, and then spin them, and off they go. If I don't want to attack everything around me, I also have directional versions. So let's say I don't like this group of planets, then I can shove them away from me. And off they go. If I want to save... Oh, I'm getting pulled into this. If I want to save some of these planets from the grasp of this brown dwarf, then I can try pulling some of them out. Although it looks like I'm being taken in with them. I actually don't even know if I'm big enough to stop the brown dwarf. Now, to make sure that no planets get flung too far away, the entire solar system kind of has a boundary that the central star can pull in towards. This way you don't get flung into oblivion, because that would be kind of unfortunate. But yeah, it is so fun to mess around with this. And of course, everyone on each planet can see all of these in the skybox. I can't actually move around on this player, but you can see everything in the sky. So if I go near all of the guys that are fighting, then the skybox gets a bit chaotic with everyone that's around me. You could also see it in this video, which James found this cool system of stable orbiting gas giants. And that moon over there is kind of unlucky and got stuck in there. And you could also see this on the planet, which it matches the skybox with. So another thing that I added is the multiverse. It is in non-Euclidean space, and each one of these circles is another entirely unique universe, with different spatial laws and different structures. Now you see it is not stable, it is moving. These further universes look like they're getting further away, to the point where they start flying away really fast. And they're gone. But in reality, they're the same distance from the second ring as the first ring is. So if I move, you can see how weird this is. How all of space kind of gets distorted. So I'll let you guys figure out how this works. It's kind of a fun effect. This is inverse hyperbolic space on top, and spherical space in the middle. But yeah, what shape is this? And lastly, if I go really far in any direction, then the universe is warped around, and now I'm on this side. And if I keep going in this direction, then eventually oh my god, he's playing Marvel Rivals. eventually I end up back where I started, in the very center of the multiverse. So what shape is this? Let's enter one of these universes. Right now we are at the universe border, and you can see some of the galaxies there are. If I enter any of these galaxies real quick, then we're back to this area, which is, of course, the galaxy, with all the nebulas and different stars and black holes and everything else. You can see it is quite populated here. And if we go into a star system, then we can enter a star system. And just like all the others, this one is completely unique. Another cool thing I added is terrain for the celestial rings. So if you enter the rings of a planet, then you can see the planet down below in the skybox. And if you fall far enough, then you enter this little asteroid field. And so you can keep falling all the way until you hit the main central ring. Now currently this does kind of look like a bunch of meatballs, and yeah, I know. It's not done yet, but I will fix it soon. And yeah, so here's the ring. It is not a very big ring, because, you know, rings on planets are quite thin. But all around, it looks kind of like this. And so this is actually a pretty good spot for mining ores like gold, and you can also find space dragons here. They don't exist yet, but they will be added within a few days of making this video. Another thing that I've kind of just neglected is that there is a player morph. And also there is that tool, which spins, but it's incorrect right now. And the player morph is completely customizable. So I'll showcase that in just a second. But you also might have noticed I have this kind of what looks like an XP bar now at the bottom of my screen. And if I spawn a bunch of birds here, first of all, yes, I have birds, they're all unique and they fly and stuff. But if I kill them like an evil person, then they drop soul orbs, which give me soul points. So this bar, it's kind of similar to an XP bar in Minecraft, but it is souls instead of experience. And souls are what the Celestials feed on to survive. So there's a bunch of NPCs that will buy souls, and especially rogue planets want soul power to power the central brown dwarf. And so there's a whole bunch of lore in that, but if I start describing that, this video will go on forever. So I guess I could just showcase some of the bosses that I've added. So on the Honey Heart planet, which is a new civilization world, you can find a lot of honey biomes. And over there, every once in a while, you can find the queen bee. The queen bee is quite powerful. They will charge at you, and they'll sting you. And that does a lot of melee damage and poison damage. So, I'm gonna fight this real quick. In fact, for fun, I'll fight two of them, because each bee and queen bee is unique. In case the flame ring doesn't seem to be doing enough damage, there are other weapon rings as well, like the X-ray ring. Wing. I'm looking at two wings right now. And this one will poison them. I would love to see someone do a no-hit run on this. I've done it before, but it is quite tricky. There's no way I'm able to do it for this video. And if you're not careful, they can do a lot of damage really fast if they corner you. Because this game does not have invincibility frames yet. In case you're curious, regular bees also exist. And on Honey Heart planets, they spawn pretty much everywhere. I was originally going to name it Honey Hive Planets, but then I realized that's a place in Super Mario Galaxy, so can't do that. I don't want to be copyrighted. I think one of the queen bees died. Yep. So currently they drop a bunch of XP, and I'm gonna give them some unique boss items at some point soon. We're going down. And it's dead. GG. Easy. Oh, whoops. How did I get here? So I think next up I kind of want to showcase one of the infected planets. So here's a planet with the crystal infection. Yeah, so this one has amethyst everywhere. So the land is pretty holy. And I don't mean that holy, but I mean there's like holes everywhere on this planet. And on these planets, there's lots of viruses, which have randomly generated brains and are each pretty unique. There's also bacteria, which are a bit smarter, and also match the color of the infection. There's currently no way to fight the infection. I'm adding a wand that does that, but it's not done yet. And more rarely, there's also the Infector of Souls. And so they look like worms. A lot of these ones actually look quite small for some reason. Usually they're bigger, but they match the planet and will try to attack you. So if I just make a pond real quick, like over here, and showcase some of the other new items I've been working on. So this is a demonic staff. It shoots lasers. I think it looks kind of cool. And so I was working on a fishing rod. And when you use it, it still does pretty much the same thing as the demonic staff, because I have not finished it yet. Oh, another cool feature is the bed system. If you place down a bed, you can sleep to set your spawn and heal faster. But you can also enter a dream. And so this is a randomly made planet, I think. I have no idea where this is. And you can kind of see that it's all just slightly different. Oh wait, no, this is the same planet, but a random Backworlds level. So they're all unique. And if you die in your dream, then you just wake up. And you can fall asleep again to go to a completely new random spot. You can also find other places in the game by dreaming, so this will be a way to progress the game, kind of, and hint to where you need to go. Yeah, here's a weird one. This is a different planet entirely, I think. Same solar system, opposite side, random planet, so it's kind of cool to travel with. Another thing I added is Bluestone and blue phones. Bluestone is just like redstone in Minecraft, but it has a max power of 32 instead of 15. There's also logic blocks, crossroads, and other cool stuff that Minecraft just doesn't have. And if you use it to make a blue phone, then you can enter the digital dimension. In the digital dimension, the world is randomly generated by the AI overlord that lives here. He has a god complex because he thinks he's real, and so each time you enter the digital world, you'll meet him and he'll make stuff for you. Now there's a bunch of apps you can use, like you can leave, which is kind of boring, but if we go back, then here's a new world. There's a Bonk net button, which brings you to multiplayer. There's the verify button, which lets you use the more powerful apps and verifies that you are worthy of using the blue phone. And there's a ship builder. If we go to the ship builder, you'll enter this weird area in which you could build a schematic, and then you can use that in the real world like a spaceship to fly across the planets. The vehicle system doesn't fully work yet, but I'm getting there. How did I spawn on such a terrible world? Oh wow. I am going to die, I believe. Let's try that again. So once again, I'm on a new world. That planet is way too close to us in the sky. And there it goes. Something that has been quite requested is the creative menu. And so if you're in the godly game mode, you can scroll around in the creative menu. There's over 3,000 different items right now. So there are so many things to showcase that I can't really get through all of them. But you could kind of just see the slideshow of different items, I guess. So another thing I added is armor. So rings are good for weapons, but if you're in the humanoid morph, then maybe you want armor. And so you can wear this, and it will give you some defense. I actually want to showcase this player creator a bit more, just to show what's with it. So here are two of my skins. I have my main one that I always use, and this test one that I don't use. So you can still randomize this and get a completely unique skin. And you also have the humanoid morph. And you can randomize this to get very unique looking characters. There's not too many combinations yet, but let's say we like some of this stuff. We can select any shirt we want, and we can color it. So now we have this blue, unique looking shirt, or we could just go to the default color, which is my jacket. There's a lot we could do to mess around with this. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to wishlist the game on Steam. The more people that wishlist it, the better the algorithm, and that would just help out a ton. There's so many other things I added, but I just can't get to all of it in this video. So more videos will be coming soon. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!